Hello there, welcome to Genessis-Models. My name is Bobby Waldron and this is the April show 2015, in which in this show we're going to be having a load of new inbox reviews with a nice little mini review. We've got ammos, panel line wash as a product review, what video builds are going to be coming along for April. I've also managed to get us a nice bit of a members discount at everythingairbrush.com, so stay tuned to find out the details of that. I'm going to be announcing March's competition along with a new April competition as well.
Alright! Hit that son of a bitch! Head out! Do your job! Do what you're here for!
So let's get started with the show, which I'm going to get started with a nice inbox review of EA-18G Growler, the Zapper Squadron 1/48 scale by Hazagari. Just remember, all these inbox reviews that are going to be throughout the show are going to be fully released during April on the usual Friday news update, so check out this inbox review. Hello there, welcome to Genessis-Models. My name is Bobby Waldron and in this video we're going to be having an inbox review of Hazagari's 1/48 scale EA-18G Growler, and that is the VAQ-130 Zapper Squadron. So you know, nice looking kit here. This kit in particular, it is based on the FA-18H, which is also by Hazagari, and that was first new tooled in 2005, so it's about a 10-year-old kit, so it's not mega old or anything like that. But they have sort of like recently released it as the Growler version. So instructions, they are very much typical Hazagari instructions, where they fold out into, you know, this big sort of sheet here, not like a booklet like I prefer personally. And we also have the typical Hazagari instructions where it is just all rammed right in there, and does sort of make it a little bit more complicated. Yes, it does save on paper, I suppose, but you do get there eventually with this kit. But you have lots of nice options. You know, it's a two-seater version. We have all different flaps and slats. We can move into different positions. Then we have this massive array of sensors on here with all sorts of ALQ99s, low band, high band, ALQ218s, and yeah, I think there's two of them as well. So there's lots and lots of sort of sensors with this, which is the whole purpose of the Growler. And then we have our markings for our Growler just here, the Zapper Squadron, which does look rather nice. So instructions, you know, typical, and they will get you there in the end, but as I say, they're a bit compacted in there. Then we have our decals. Now these are typical Hazagari decals, but they have got nice colour to them, nicely in registry, and yeah, we'll probably get the macro on the actual small writing here and just see. You do have decals for instrument display panels. Personally, I wouldn't use these ones because they're just blanked out, which is a shame. But yeah, those decals will probably be quite nice, but you're probably going to want to use Mr. Mark softener and setter for them. Moving along with the first sprues, what do we have? Well, first off, this is what basically makes this the Growler, this sprue here. This is where we've got a load of different sensors on here, the ALQ99s and all them kind of things. We do have a instrument display panel just here. Hopefully, as you can see, it is actually, you know, rather good detail actually for out of the box. Then we got another sprue here. I do like how we do get, you know, a load of sensors. We do get quite a few weapons with this, loads of fuel tanks, because I know Hasegawa in the past, they'll take out all the weapons, so you have to go off and buy their weapons separately and upping up the price. You do get a nice pilot with this as well, which is a nice touch, and the detail on this pilot is looking rather good for an out of the box pilot. We've also got his head over here, just there, as you can see. Our exhausts, they are looking a little bit plain, but then in all honesty, I mean, when you actually look at a real FA-18, I mean, I don't know, it doesn't look as lively as most, shall we say. So that is one sprue. We've also got a double sprue of that. Just getting out the next couple of sprues. Right, this is where we get to look at some of the surface detail now. So just bringing you in. Here we have our wing section, and basically we've got the nice typical Hasegawa surface detail here. We've got nice recessed panel lines, recessed rivets. They're very, very crisp. They're nice and deep to take a wash. The plastic's nice and smooth, so there's no need to sand out any sort of rough edges or anything like that. You know, we know it's going to be good surface detail, and there's just loads of flaps and slats and everything all around this sprue. Moving along, again we've got more sensors plus some air to ground missiles as well. Again, same kind of surface detail going on with them. More surface to air, surface to ground missiles with more sensors. We do have another instrument display panel here. Just bring you in on there. Hopefully you can see very, very nice detail going on there as well. Moving along, right, last couple of sprues here. You know, again we've got like tails and everything on here. Again, very good detail indeed, as you can see. Nice detail going on in there. Then we have lots of little pieces and stuff going on. So that is the Growler by Hasegawa 140 ape scale. So basically I've had a nice bit of communications with everythingairbrush.com, and they've had great customer service for me, and so what they've gone off and done is they've even been more generous, and they've allowed us Genesis Models members to have a 10% discount. So all you got to do is be a Genesis Models subscribing member, and basically, you know, you use this specific code and you just go off to everythingairbrush.com and have a 10% discount for the foreseeable future. So you know, it hopefully won't ever run out, but yeah, you know, you can carry on using it every time you buy something. Now you obviously, you know, if there's any kind of other sort of discounts or offers going on, you know, the 10% discount isn't included with any offers they have going on the site. But to get this discount code, well, today it's the 31st, so on the 1st I will be putting the code into where you log in. So on the website you've got your 8 buttons going across the top, and I do believe it's bottom right corner you've got login. Log into there and there will be a code somewhere there. To be honest with you, I haven't totally figured it out, but I want to put it somewhere in there, and you know, you just use that code whenever you like, so long as you're a Genesis Models subscribing member. So hopefully you will like that nice little advantage there by just plain and simply being a Genesis Models subscribing member. So what we're going to have a little look at now is we've got another inbox review, but this time it is of sort of like a nice new release for Revell 1/35 scale, a Land Rover 109. Looks like a rather nice kit. It is actually an old kit, but you know, it still has tested that, you know, it still has stayed the test of time. And to be honest with you, it is a nice little kit that if you're doing armoured vehicles, that, you know, it's nice, easy, it's quick. Yeah, and you can practice all your weathering techniques on this one. I forgot how much it was, but it's not mega expensive. So let's check out this inbox review.
HMS Victory, flagship at the most epic naval battle in British history. Discover and build Britain's greatest warship.
Hello there, welcome to Genessis-Models. My name's Bobby Waldron, and in this video we're going to be having an in-box review of Revell's new release of the 1/35th scale British 4x4 109 Land Rover. Now this kit actually is a very old kit. It is by Tamiya originally. It was made in 1976, right, so very old, but what Revell's done, they've reboxed it 2015, and apparently there are new parts to it. The other thing is with this kit as well, it is around about the £17.99 mark. Now the instructions, they are kind of they feel like they're on recycled paper, you know, usual explanation, but the instructions, I mean, you know, this is a fairly easy kit. There's not really, you know, any options. It is straightforward. There's really nothing to write home about with the instructions. We've got two different markings for the British Army, as well as I do believe we've got the Royal Danish Army as well in there. So, you know, you got a few options in there. The decals, if we bring you in, they are printed in Italy, so this could potentially be cartographer decals. They do look and feel like them, you know, so I'd say you shouldn't have any problems. And as you can see, I mean, they all do look nicely in registry, nice, neat, good colours, well, really good decals actually. Moving along with the sprues, just to kind of blast through, the actual fabric top to the Land Rover is, I mean, we've got sort of like a nice rough sort of fabricy detail going on just on there, but then, you know, fabric and plastic, you know, it doesn't 100% go realistically, to be honest, when it comes to like plastic models and trying to represent fabric by using plastic. So yeah, you know, maybe scratch building, but do you know what, it doesn't look too bad. There seems to be a nice couple of ripples in there and everything, but yeah, you know, not too bad. Moving along, a few things of note. Here we go. The detail on this kit, well, you know, for something that's 1976, is pretty good. It is very crisp still. It is, you know, we've hardly got any flash for a 1976 kit. We've got nice detail on our wheels, good treads, looking good, as you can see there. A bonnet, you know, again, nice detail going on in there as well. Ejector pin marks, they are in nice places, you know, hopefully, as you can see, you know, like, okay, inside, where are you going? There you go. Inside, you know, it's, you know, we've got some ejector pin marks in there. They're not too bad, but there's not much detail in regards to inside of this kit. You know, so it's probably something you'd want to close down unless you want to do some scratch building. But, you know, seats, they are very bland, very plain. There isn't really anything to it. You know, I can't remember if there is like a photo etch set for this. There probably is. Although, you know, our suspension is rather nicely detailed, very crisp. You know, and just no problems with the moulding of that. We've got our steering wheel and a few bits of internal detail here. Does look very bland, but to be honest with you, I mean, they're not very exciting inside these Land Rovers. Trust me, I've drove them. They are pretty boring, and not much going on inside anyway. But hopefully, as you can see, like all the sort of the underside, there is quite a bit of nice detail with exhaust pipes and all that kind of stuff to sort of play around with. I think that might be a footwell of some sort. Can't be sure. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, looking at this kit, I am quite impressed at the fact that it is 1976. £17.99 seems to be a fairish price. Our clear parts, hopefully, as you can see there, we've got. So I hope you enjoyed the little Land Rover inbox review there, and as you can see, hopefully behind me we have the shelves up. I've done this end of the workshop, skimmed it, painted it, acoustic stuff going on in here and everything. Brought in some new lighting as well, which hopefully you're going to be liking. I'm still sort of playing around with that a little bit, but you know, we got more nicer lighting in there, and it's rather cool to actually have all these paints back out of the boxes on the shelves, to have easy access to it. You know, I can really sort of get on with building now with all this sort of like setup. But yet that end of the room, which is going to be where the actual workstation's going to be, I'm still building that side. It is quite a lot to do building this, as well as, you know, building all these models as well. So you know, bear with me, but it is coming along, and hopefully you're liking it as well. So next up, what's coming for April? Well, the HMS Victory. Sadly, D'Agostini, there's been some sort of a mix-up in the post, and they've had to send me the next couple of issues, and because they've had to send me a lot, it's kind of sort of, well, basically they're not here for me to actually video them. So you know, it's not a big deal, because we do have a lot to do with the launch. You know, that is like a mini step-by-step video build in itself. So actually, you know, this next episode coming, we're just probably going to just go at it with the launch full on, and then, you know, the following month we'll just really hit it with Victory, which, by the way, Victory is, we're going to be really sort of getting into doing some decking now, so it's really going to start taking shape soon. Also, we have the MiG-21. With the MiG-21, we've been messing around with washes and all sorts of things going on with that now, which is, you know, rather cool. Pigments, everything. You know, so we're really ending up with like a really dirty Russian aircraft, and it's really cool to go off and take armoured style weathering and putting it onto an aircraft, which does make it rather cooler. I mean, it puts more time and more of a process into it, but they do look cooler when you take those techniques. Next, obviously, we've got the Sherman, which, you know, again, you know, we're using all those armoured vehicle type weatherings, using the ammo products with the filters, washes, fading. You know, we're going into it completely with that, and rather enjoying that as well. F-15, we're nicely going through the building stage. We're, you know, getting our air intakes nice and seamless, and working through that and starting to bring the body all together, and the fuselage and wings together. So you know, I'm rather enjoying that as well. So those are, you know, basically the step-by-step video builds that are coming for April. But what we're going to take a look at now is, as you might be able to tell, we're going to have a ammo product review, and the product review is going to be of the panel line washes, right? Because before we've been using sludge washes, i.e. Models washes. I've made my own little washes with oils and all sorts of thinners and stuff, whereas now we've got enamel style panel line washes. So you've now got more of an option of how you want to play it, and, you know, we're going to take a look at that now. Hello there, welcome to Genessis-Models. My name's Bobby Waldron, and in this video we're going to be having a look at Ammo's new panel line washes, and this is by Mig Jimenez. Now, these are a relatively sort of new product that's been brought out by Ammo, and it's specifically for doing all your little panel lines on aircrafts and stuff. Now this range of panel line washes, there's about 20 different colours altogether. They're just up there on the shelf, but I'm just going to show you just one of these at the moment, and that is the deep brown, which is 1618. Now deep brown is basically the equivalent colour to a a dark dirt kind of weathering wash. Now you can go on the Genessis-Models website, and there you'll see all sorts of tutorials on how to use the Flory models, weathering washes. There's ones how to make your own washes using basically pigments and water, and I also did like an oil based one as well, but this one is an enamel based one. So you know, we're going to check this one out, which is rather nice actually. I've used it and it does do rather well and gets the job done, but it adds a nice streakiness, shall we say a faint streakiness to the general whole model, which is rather good. So you've got to give it a good shake, get all the sediment off the bottom, get it nicely mixed up, right? And it's a simple task where we go off and we get a sort of a nice paintbrush that has a good point to it, but can hold the paint as well nicely. And what we're going to do is bring you in, right? And all we got to do here is we just dip in to our panel line wash, and then all we got to do is we just do we apply this in a pin wash fashion, right? So we just basically touch the panel line, and hopefully you're just seeing there. Maybe get you in a bit closer so you can see even more. Alright, let's do that again. We just touch the panel line, and hopefully you can just see how it's just flowing. You know, it's got such a nice thin capillary action to it that you literally don't really have to do any work, right? It just does it all for you and flows. Right, so hopefully you're seeing that now. Maybe show you a different angle, maybe in the light. Just touch that panel line and it flows nicely. Show you a bit more. And the thing is, what you got to remember with this, it doesn't matter. Do you know how I'm touching it and it's leaving like a little blob mark? That's all good, right? That doesn't matter. I'm gonna show you how that's going to work to our advantage and give us another weathering aspect to this panel line wash. Just going over the decal there nicely. Right, now what you want to do, a few notes about this panel line wash. First off is you don't want to be using enamel based paints and enamel based glosses to like protect your paintwork and all that kind of stuff, because what's going to happen is we're using enamel based wash here. We're going to clean it up in a bit with enamel based thinner, and it's just going to mess up all your paintwork because they're going to react together. But by using nice simple acrylic paints and acrylic based glosses to protect your paintwork, it's going to act like oil to water. You know, enamels and acrylics, it's literally like oil to water. They don't mix, so they're not gonna. We're not gonna kind of like start rehydrating our acrylic paints here and then end up with a mess. So that is one important thing you need to remember when using this stuff, is just to make sure, you know, you put acrylic paints down and then you use these enamel based washes, and you shouldn't have any problems at all. So I'm just going to go around and do this panel line wash, hopefully as you can see there, all the way around this wing. Then you want to leave it for maybe like 20-30 minutes to dry. If you really sort of leave it maybe the next day to dry, it just makes the next process a bit harder to sort of rehydrate and sort of stub down the actual these enamel panel line washes. So about 20-30 minutes is a nice time, and it just rehydrates it nicely and cleans it up a lot more nicely. So I'm just gonna finish these and I'll show you the next bit. So now that's nicely dried for about half an hour. We want to get out Ammo's enamel odorless thinners 2018. Nice thinners to use. I know people do say, oh, you can go off and use white spirits or something like that, turpentine, but to be honest with you, really you want to stick with the modeling type enamels, just to be on the safe side, because I have tried out those other ones and they seem to be too strong or too weak. You know, these are specifically designed for these washes and filters and everything, that, you know, it's the right intensity that you want. So what I'm just going to do here, nice and easy, we're just going to dip a cotton wool bud into our... So there is the ammo product review then. Hopefully you like that and maybe even want to go out and buy some. Just remember, there's, I think, what was it again, dark brown. If you just get the one pot of paint, one pot of panel line wash, that should kind of get you going with it to do mainly most aircrafts, because it is the basically the dark dirt style colour, and mainly that's what I mainly use. But when you've got all those colours, it's quite cool, because then you do start thinking, oh, I could, you know, use this colour instead of just doing the usual dark dirt, which I used to do in the past. So that's rather cool to start jazzing things up that way. But next up we have March's competition winner, and that was for the BF-110 G2 stroke R3 by Revell 148 scale. Really nice kit. It's all good for the group build that's going on right now, where we're building you know, bomber group build. So, you know, if you could win this, it'd be great to see you kind of enter that and use this. But after doing a nice random number generation program and counting down the thread, I came to Cybershed. So congratulations to you, Cybershed. You are the winner of the March competition prize for our BF-110. So congratulations. Don't worry if you didn't win, because we're going to be having April competition coming up soon. But before we move on to that, we have another inbox review, and this inbox review is going to be of a nice new tool, new kit release by Edard. Is the Spitfire Mark 8 Provipack 148 scale. Hello there, welcome to Genessis-Models. My name's Bobby Waldron, and in this video we're going to be having an inbox review of Edard's new release of the Spitfire Mark 8. It was also the Provipack edition, so we get little extra goodies in there. 148 scale. Now this is a brand new kit release for, I think it was February or March 2015. I'm reviewing this as at the end of March as well, so you know, we've got there nicely as it's come out. The box art looks very, very nice. On the side, hopefully you can see we've got, you know, 6 different sets of markings here, moving around, and that's about it. So let's open up the box and see what we get in here. Taking off the lid. Right, we've got all our sprues in there. I'm just going to show you the instructions very quickly. Instructions, the usual really good Edard instructions, where we've got colour, good quality paper, nice description, and as you go through the instructions you'll notice that you've got all these kind of little blue bits that show and indicate where each piece goes. So it really does make everything rather nice and simple. You've got all the photo etch bits that come with this kit. It shows you where all those go. With this particular kit you do get like the pointy wingtip, the rounded, the flat wingtip as well, so you really can really have got a couple of options there. You know, canopy open, the canopy door open, wings up, sorry, landing gear up or down. You know, so it's a very nice kind of kit to build, and these instructions are going to show you how to get there rather quickly and easily. Here are a couple of the 6 different markings that we've got going on here. As you can see, nicely in colour. I'd never sort of recommend that you actually follow the colour schemes of Edard or any manufacturer really, because they're never really 100% accurate most of the time. But there we go, and at the back we've got a nice stencil bit to show you how to you know, put all your stencils on. At the back we've got a nice goodie section, which is rather cool. Put that away. Our decals, if we just bring you in, they are printed by Cartographer, made in Italy. Right, so we know these are going to be top-notch decals. They're quite glossy, but they're Cartographer. You know, you can't really grumble with Cartographers, say best in the world. And I'm seeing no problems at all with these decals. Second set of decals, which are our stencils. These ones are printed in the Czech Republic. These are Edard decals, and in all honesty, I've had no problems with these either. They go on just as well as Cartographer decals, so no worries there. We'll probably get a macro on those later on. Moving along, first thing I've got out is our canopy. Now this kit, right, is very much based on the very famous Spitfire Mark 9 by Edard 1/48 scale. Absolutely cracking kit. Everyone says it's gorgeous, absolutely sublime, and this one is based a lot on it. So we're going to have basically the same kind of quality, and hopefully you probably already noticed that these sprues look exactly the same from the Mark 9. You know, absolutely look gorgeous with all that clear canopies, no cobweb effects or anything like that. We have our wing section. Now this is a Mark 9 that I've got in my stash just to show you, and in all honesty there isn't like a massive difference here. We're talking like panel lines, rivets, panels just being a bit different. There's just those slight differences that make this kit a Mark 8. So really, you know, it is basically, if you've built a Mark 9 and you've seen one and you know how good they are, this is going to be basically the same. But to bring you in on the detail, hopefully you can see, you know, what we have here is absolutely next generation surface detail. We have lovely recessed rivets, nicely in scale, of different sizes as well. They're not all the same size. The same with the rivets, you know, they are nicely in scale. We've got different rivet sizes for different areas, and we have this really nice general all-round sort of riveting going on, which is shallow enough to not take a wash to the point where it just comes out too much, but nicely shallow enough to just take a wash, to just sort of bring out and show that lovely recessed rivet detail in there. Hope you enjoyed that little product inbox review there of the Spitfire Mark 8. That is a kit I really wouldn't mind doing as a video build, because you know, it is a pretty damn good kit. It is one of the best kits out there. A lot of people absolutely love it. They call it sublime and everything, and it's such a good kit that I do think yeah, I should probably do a step-by-step of that. But let me know your thoughts on that kit anyway. But what we've got next is a nice little mini product review of Panzer putty. I'm only doing it as a little mini one because you know, just really quickly sort of touch on this really. Got this from what was it, model scale models or something like that. It is a little bit expensive. It is about £15 ish. You know, potentially post packaging as well on top of that, but it does come in this nice little tin, and then what it is this weird black stuff, right? It's really stretchy and it's flexible and it sticks to itself rather easy. It's rather weird, and it's like, what would you use this for modeling? But basically what it is, you can just like, you cut off, you're not supposed, you don't really rip it, but you basically cut off bits, right, and you sort of make it into camouflage shapes, right? But what the cool thing is you put it down onto, say, your armored vehicle, your aircraft or whatever, and what it does is it literally just kind of molds itself. The weight of it just kind of molds itself around whatever it is you're putting it around, and then it's really good for, you know, masking up and spraying camo patterns on there, which is rather cool. And if you see these photos that are just up here now, you can see what it really does, just, you know, sink down and conform to anything, right? Because as you can see, you know, it's in a ball in the tin and it just sinks down and flattens all out, and that's what it does on your model. It just sinks down into all those nooks and crannies and grooves and everything, and sinks in there, which is rather cool. And to be honest with you, it does, I haven't actually used it yet, but it does sound like a good sort of idea, so to speak, because, you know, when it comes to doing camo patterns, I mean, I don't like really doing it because you have to go off and roll up all those sausages of blue tack, or you do it freehand, or, you know, you cut out stencils or something. It is quite, I personally find it a bit boring and time consuming, but with this stuff, I mean, it's just literally so easy just to make a bit of a camo pattern and then just lay it on your model, spray, pull it back up, you know, and carry on going at it as well. And there's other kind of camo patterns you can do with this as well, which is rather cool indeed. Not only that, it is quite expensive, as I say, about £15 or more, but it depends how long it lasts. I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't used this at all really, but apparently the paint absorbs into this putty stuff as well, which sounds like you can use it over and over again, but how many times can you use it over and over again before you got just too much paint absorbed into this? I don't know. So is £15 worth it, depending on how long you can use it? You know, I don't quite know that answer, but, you know, I will be using this in all my spraying probably from now on, just to test it out and everything, and we'll just see how long it lasts and see how much it's worth it. So you know, there's a nice little product review, little mini product review for you there, exclusive to this April show. So next up we have April's competition. So next up we have April's competition prize. Now, to be in it, to win it, you know, the usual, go to Genessis-Models forum, go to the competition section, and all you've got to do is post I'm in or count me in or something to that effect in the appropriate competition section, which will be April competition 2015. Now, the prize we're going to be giving away for this is, we're going to be giving away a few actually. This time we're going to be giving away Kitty Hawk's 1 in 48 scale Saab Jazz 39 BD Gripen 1/48 scale. This is you know, not a bad kit, to be honest with you. I think it's about, oh, I forgot now, was it about £40 ish or something like that? But you know, that is one of the competition prizes, and because I'm basically getting to the end with the MiG-21, I do have quite a few little aftermarket parts left over from that build, so I thought, what the hell, why not? I'll give them away in the competition. And we have the undercarriage with bronze landing gear going on there. We have the wheel well detail, resin wheel well detail. We have a fighter pilot with ejector seat as well going in there. We also have a nice little bit of photo etch of what is that? We got instrument display panels, we got a bit of engine stuff in there and whatnot, and also we have some resin rocket launchers as well. So a load of nice little aftermarket parts to go for to go with a MiG-21 as well as that Gripen kit. Right, so next up we have the actual Gripen in-box review. Hello there, welcome to Genessis-Models. My name's Bobby Waldron, and in this video we're going to be doing a inbox review of Kitty Hawk's Saab Jazz 39BD Gripen. Now this is, shall we say, this is a fairly new tool as well. It was something like first released 2013, but this is another rebox from Kitty Hawk of a 2014 release. As you can see from the box art on the sides, we've got all sorts of different markings we can do: Brazil, Hungary, Czech, Swedish, we've got Thailand, South Africa. Rather nice, and some nice box art as well. So let's just open this up and let's start off with some instructions, which I have misplaced. 1 second. There they are. Right, here they are. As you can see, the paper is just nice sort of standard paper. It seems a little bit satin in the first page, but then it goes nice and matte. Now there's nothing really to write home about with the actual instructions. They are pretty straightforward. There's not really any major options, and it does seem to go together in the sense that the cockpit and the nose section come together, then the fuselage comes together, and then your two wing halves come together. So, you know, pretty well. It doesn't look a simple construction, to be honest, and I do think there might be some fit issues with it. But running along with the instructions, you do come to this here, which is a bit weird, but you've got all these different markings, and they're all very much muddled up. And I do believe that is because we need to actually sort of rip this out of here from all to match up, which is strange, but there you go. As I say, nothing to write home about with the instructions. You do get like a weapons loadout thing going on there, but that is that. Right, so moving along, let's just show you a few sprues here. Moving in on our wheel well, as you can see, the wheel well, it does have detail, but I feel like it is lacking just a little bit. Turning it over, ejector pin marks, well, very nicely. We haven't got any on the inside of our wheel well doors, which is, you know, rather good there. Moving along, let's just kind of get through some of these sprues without bringing loads out. What we got here, we have lots of little bits and pieces here, you know, engine fans, a few kind of maybe bits of landing gear, just lots of little odds and sods. And you're probably seeing, you know, we are getting a bit of flash a bit here and there, which isn't that brilliant. Time to start looking at the surface detail. We have our wing section here, right, top and bottom. So let's bring you in as close as we can possibly get you, right. Let's see if we can rotate you in the light, get this out of the way. Hopefully what you're seeing is the actual recess panel line and recess rivets. There is lots of them. They do look kind of impressive, but then I just can't help but feel like these panel lines aren't going to take a wash. I almost feel like if I was to do this, I would potentially be going off and rescribing the whole model, to be honest with you. They're just, there is slight places where, okay, it looks like it would take a wash, but then I just can't help, most of it does actually look as though it won't take a wash. Apart from actually the front nose section, yeah, hopefully, as you can see just there, right, those panel lines are looking rather good, and they do look like they'll take a wash, but then as it wraps around, right, our recessed panel lines do fade. So yeah, not a good point there as well. Same with the other side as well. Cockpit detail, well, we've got you know, sort of like minor detail going there out of the box. Not totally bad, but it's not brilliant. Our instrument display panels, you know, they do look. So hope you enjoyed the Gripen there. Nice little inbox review going on there. Again, all these inbox reviews that you've seen throughout this show will be released on a Friday news update throughout April, and that will be the full version as well. Just to kind of end the show, we've got remember, we've got the World War II bomber group build going on. Fantastic work going on in there. I've had a look, and we've got people getting nicely into the spray stage and everything now, but it's still not too late to enter. If you get in there, get cracking with that. We've also got the painting figures 2015 group build, which is a members run group build. You might want to check that out, do some painting with figures, or at least watch it, because it's they do kind of show you how to do figures as well, so you know, you can learn a lot from that as well as try and enter it. And I do believe the members have got together and they've kind of done a competition prize. Sorry, I forgot what it was, but go into that group build section now on the forum, and you'll find out all you need to find out there. So sadly, we've come to the end of the April 2015 show, but I'm going to leave you with all your fantastic work on the forum here at Genessis-Models. So until next time, my name is Bobby Waldron, this is Genessis-Models, and I hope you've enjoyed. Say nice, simply. It's in a tin basically, and what we have in here is this weird black stuff. Right, if we can just get it out. It's
Houston, we have a problem.
Very strange.
Stop!
Crikey, it's stuck in here this time.
You
Try and get
shot!
this out.
Stop!
Hold on.
Way to go, a-hole!
Okay, we're gonna have to cut that.